What is up, guys? Do I even need to ask that question? Because we all know what is up, and that is the massive amounts of reveals that were showcased to us about a day ago via the Warhammer community. So by now, everybody and their mamas, as well as their grandmamas, know that there is a new edition coming out shortly. 8th edition will soon be crumbling to the dust, just like the guardsmen in that cinematic, as we make way for a brand new edition, the 9th edition. And there's a lot of things that is going to entail. So don't be all mad, don't get up in a heavel, because the Psychic Awakening books, the codices, the Vigilus Ablaze stuff will still be able to work and transfer over to the new edition. So they're not really making us buy new codices, a new rulebook. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, where do we go from here? There's just so much that was revealed, so I guess I'll start with the cinematic trailer. We got an amazing, beautiful trailer to reel in the new edition. You've got guardsmen fighting against some Necrons. They get obliterated. No surprise there. And then as we continue on, we get to see the Sisters of Battle going at it. It's a really nice change of pace, because usually we're used to seeing Space Marines, coming in and just wrecking up shop. But to see a Sister of Battle doing the things that a Space Marine would be able to do, that's pretty cool. And not just that, but we get to see some of the there's like the hymns, I believe. Is that what it's called? She essentially prays to the Emperor, and her hand should be dissolving due to the Necron weaponry, but it doesn't. It actually heals itself, so that was really, really cool. We also get to see a brand new Necron unit in the form of some three-legged, massive sword-wielding abomination, and that was really cool. Eventually, we do see the Primaris Marines jump into the fray and start helping out the Sisters of Battle. And there's this huge battle that opens up. We've got a new Primaris Lieutenant with a shield and some awesome looking skeleton on it. We then get to see a swarm of scarabs and some Necron warriors fighting it out. And then we see a massive, massive Necron Lord, similar to the three-legged Necron from before, just with 4 arms, a massive sword, and it's just crazy. The trailer is amazing. I've seen it at least 4 times. It's really, really awesome. So from here, they kind of show us the new sculpts for the Necron warriors, which I wasn't impressed at all. They look just like regular warriors, or probably just more true to scale. Same thing with the Primaris. We get Assault Primaris. Okay. I just feel like we're getting Primaris way too often that it's just not anything I look forward to anymore. It's oh, another Primaris, great. And the thing is, all these Primaris units kind of look the same. There's nothing really eye-popping in on their sculpts. But whatever. Anyway, let's continue on. And they revealed a lot of new things that are actually going to be in 9th edition. The thing that kind of caught my eye was the introduction of a crusade system. So basically, it's making your games kind of flow into one another, almost like a narrative campaign kind of aspect to it, where you have a certain character or squads, and the longer they live, the more they progress, and they get stat boosts and stuff like that. They show a picture of a Space Marine scout, and then after the crusade system has been utilized, he becomes a chapter master or a war veteran on the other side. So that's pretty cool. Another big thing that they're kind of pushing to let us know that 9th edition is going to be so much better than 8th edition is that they're giving us access to more command points right out the bat. So I guess it's going to give us more freedom to build our armies in any way we want to, because now we don't have to have a battalion or any type of a bunch of vanguard units to be able to use all these command points. You're now going to be able to utilize your strategic abilities of your stratagems to be put into play a lot easier than just trying to make a big battalion and a bunch of other supplements to it, which in my opinion that's pretty cool, because it'll lead to more awesome things happening on the battlefield. The terrain system has also been changed. Reserves has also been changed. So if you're playing like Gene Stealer cults, your army can like spring up out of nowhere. I think they mentioned something about like templates are going to be making a return in some way, shape, or form. That might be rumors, because there is a ton of rumors that like got leaked. A bunch of models got leaked. So it's really crazy to see like, oh, this is going to be the biggest reveal ever, and it's like, yeah, we got 9th edition, a cinematic trailer. We didn't get the Silent King. We got a teaser for it. But then the leaks and the spoilers came out, and it's like, okay, you might as well should have just revealed this, like, because that would have been even more epic. But anyway, let's continue on. So lastly, the thing I want to talk about before I get into other things is the huge elephant in the room, aka the Silent King. So, with the new edition coming in, the Necrons are kind of, I wouldn't say taking over, but just pushing Chaos to the side, and they're becoming the main antagonist. Of course, you have to have the Space Marines in there, because they're the poster boys. And even though the lore pushes the narrative of the Silent King, and the Blood Angels, and the Tyranids, it seems that that triumphant that I thought was going to be making its way into 9th edition got a little skewed. So of course we have the Necrons as well, and we have the Space Marines, but it's not the Blood Angels, it's of course the Ultramarines. And instead of the Tyranids being the kind of big player, looks like it's going to be the Sisters of Battle, which I'm not complaining. Sisters of Battle was always a very interesting army to me. I like the whole aesthetic of like the religious connotations, their saints, the whole holy aspect to it. And it's really interesting to see how that comes into play with like the whole don't pray to the emperor, and how the emperor was like, religion is not the way, it's science and logic. So if that ends up becoming a civil war or something really drastic changes with that, that's going to be really interesting to see how that affects the lore and the story going into 9th edition. But I'm going on another tangent because the Silent King was teased. It's by this time it's already been revealed what he looks like, not in depth, but I'll show you the picture in a little bit. Or maybe it's on the screen now, I don't know. But we get to see the Silent King. He is on a very cinematic base. You've got his speakers, you've got some massive like pylons, and he has a freaking Catan entrapped in some like containment device, and that is just amazing. That's what I really wanted. I wanted the Silent King to have something to do with the Catan, because like after all, like he has a blood feud with them. So maybe the Silent King will be able to use powers of the Catan. Maybe he can summon a Catan at will to fight for him. With those pylons around him, maybe those are anti-warp, anti-psyker pylons, nullifying psychic abilities, or giving him like an invuln save or something like that against psychic powers. I really can't wait to see what his rules are. It's just the way they make him on the battlefield, I think is going to be a great indication as to what we might be seeing when like other huge players come in play, such as the Emperor, or maybe even like the Grand Daddy, Grand Mommy Norn Queens from the Tyranids get a model. But yeah, I'm really digging the sculpts for the new Necron stuff. There's been a whole bunch of leaks, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing. The Necrons in general, I feel, are way more interesting than anything the Space Marines are putting out. It's like Primaris Bikers, cool. Primaris Assault Marines, bland. A new Primaris Lieutenant, meh. It's just, I understand why Primaris and Space Marines are there, because obviously that's what's gonna sell the most. But it's like, let the Xenos shine for once. Like, put Space Marines off to the side and just let Xenos take it for a few months or whatever. But it is what it is. Continuing on, they by being the Warhammer community people, have made a new website indicating all the new stuff that we might be seeing in the future. It looks really cool, in my opinion. You get to see some beautiful art, and I think the biggest thing is that they're coming out with an app Finally, we get an app where we can create our freaking armies. It's an army list. I really hope that they implement like FAQ changes as like real-time changes. Like when an FAQ comes out, all you gotta do is update the app, and automatically the rules will change, the point costs will change, and stuff like that. So that's really cool. I'm really interested to see what that really entails, because obviously there are other apps out there that are doing that perfect right now. So we'll see what exactly that entails. Okay, so this is Future Sound Alchemist talking now. So today they unveiled the blurry image that apparently the Necron Potato Cam took a picture of, and they actually put it out. And I don't think they should have done this. I mean, yeah, it's like leakers get images out, so it's like, well, let's beat them to it. Let's just unveil it, because whew, there is a lot to talk about in this image. First and foremost, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 8, 9-ish new models here. And it's like this could be like a whole like 2-3 weeks worth of reveals for the Warhammer community they could be doing, like spreading it out. But they're like, no, it got leaked, so let's just unveil all of it. And it kind of sucks, because like if you looked at the top right corner, the Silent King's right there. It's like, oh. It's like you tease us for a week saying the Silent King is going to return, and then you give us an actual teaser trailer to what the Silent King might look like, and then it's like, oh, here he is. Well, actually it says whoomp, there it is. Come on, guys. Like, as big as a character as the Silent King is, don't do him dirty like that. I'm pretty sure they're going to give us a trailer, but it's like all the anticipation, it got spoiled, and it's like, well, here he is. Not in detail, he's off to the corner, but there he is. Well, I'm going to try and work past it, but okay, so we do see two massive Necron pylons. I hope that's what they are. He obviously has the two speakers next to him. He's wielding a massive scythe. He's on like some stairs up to his throne, and on the top you've got that Catan entrapped. I can't really see too many like intricacies in his design. He just looks like a regular Necron Lord, but obviously he's a little bit bigger, because you could kind of scale it to the other models there. So cool. God, it really sucks that he got spoiled like that. But anyway, if you look slightly to the left, I'm pretty sure that's a Catan. It's got to be a new Catan. Looks really freaking amazing. In my opinion, Catan are the most awesome thing about the Necrons. I really like the lore, how they're ancient star gods, how they tricked the Necrons into this necrodermis body. They're just really cool. They kind of got nerfed by becoming sharded and essentially are now like slaves. But still, nonetheless, this model looks freaking sick. It's reminiscent to the Age of Sigmar dude. The Celestine Prime, I think that's what it's called, with like the swirls and the wings. So that's pretty cool. I might be picking that guy up just so I can say, look at this awesome Catan model. You've got some Necrons on the bottom. You got that new Necron Lord with the 3 spider-like legs. You got some War of the World looking dudes, aka Old One sentries from the Blackstone Fortress ripoffs, because that's what they look like. You got the new destroyers that look really intimidating. Just look at that gun. You got that monolith. Has it changed in design? I don't know. And then you got these weird like Necron flayed ones mixed with like, I don't know. They look different, interesting. But yeah, I mean, there's a canoptic spider, I think, somewhere in there. It's cool. It's interesting. I really like this image. I can't get over the Silent King being spoiled to us like that. Cool. I love the Catan. I can't, yeah, that's awesome. On to the next. When I first saw this guy, I'm like, okay, this is a Primaris Chaplain. I mean, just look at the design. The armor, it almost looks like he should be a Black Templar Primaris dude. But no, he's an adjudicator. This dude goes out and basically just makes sure that the Primaris are staying in check. So essentially it kind of is like a chaplain, where chaplains were making sure that psychers were, acting according to the Codex Astartes and the Council of Nicaea. This dude's doing the same thing for Primaris, which obviously we've seen the well, maybe you haven't, but they put out an article, the Warhammer community people, about the Adeptus Custodes and the Primaris, and how there's a huge battle that happened. I also have it on the channel if you guys want to check it out. I think I called it Custodes Turn on Primaris or something like that. It came out a few weeks ago, so check it out. It's a very interesting read. A lot of betrayal and who's right, who's wrong, that kind of thing. But yeah, the Judicator, he's got an executioner blade, so he's similar to that of the Blood Angel guy that like chops off the Black Rage's heads. So he's cool. I like that little like helmet design kinda. At first I thought he took like a Necron head and he was using that as like a piece of like war gear or whatever, but I think he's designed around a chaplain. So yeah, that is a lot that came out. We've got friggin' bikes for Primaris. We got that new, I don't even know what he is, another lieutenant probably, another Space Marine lieutenant with like a shield. So a lot of reveals, a lot of interesting stuff. Let me know what you guys are excited for. I felt like 9th edition came out really soon. Like, I think 8th edition came out like 3 years ago, so I guess it's not as, soon as I thought it was, but we'll see how this edition plays out with the reintroduction of like blast templates or something like that, and how the new rules come into play, because not everything is changing. Where 8th edition was like a complete rehaul, this 9th edition, in my eyes, seems to be more like an 8.5 edition. So we'll see exactly how that plays out. Obviously all the codexes are still good, like you don't have to buy it anymore. I recently started Eldar. I just built a Farseer and 2 Wraith Lords, so I'm excited to see how the Eldar will play in 9th edition. And yeah, let me know what you're excited for. For me, hands down, the Necrons are way better than anything else the Primaris came out with. It's just the Silent King, the Catan, all these new models. Hands down, that's been the only thing that has stopped me from saying that this reveal, this new 9th edition stuff is just meh. Because overall, when you look at it, I wasn't underwhelmed. I wasn't overwhelmed. I was just whelmed. Hashtag Teen Titans. And that's all I got for today. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see you in the next video. This has been the Sound Alchemist, Heart of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll see you then.